Hello, my friends. Welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, March 19th, 2026. This is Jennifer. Welcome back to my sewing room, you guys. I am very excited to share that I have pieced the top for the half square triangle quilt. I had 5 more blocks to piece last week and I did get them all pieced. I went on a tear, I pieced the quilt top, and I am so happy with the way it came out. I did have to go back and correct a couple of blocks where I had like flipped a half square triangle or something, but nothing major. I have planned out the quilt back, but I haven't pieced it yet. I haven't even ironed this yet, so it will hopefully be on the frame sometime this week. So I'll show you guys my very rudimentary sketch here for this quilt. It's an 80 by 96 quilt, and my plan is 3-yard lengths here with a 10-inch piece in the center to make it big enough to go on the back of the quilt and have a little bit of overage for my frame. And I'm going to use the bird fabric that Jules gave me. So I'm going to have this print on one side and this print on the other. I'm going to use most of these together. And then my center is going to have just a 10-inch strip. This is Alexander Henry Heath, and I got the very last of this bolt before it was just gone forever from my local quilt store. So I'm planning to do this down the center, and then this also will be the binding for the quilt. So I think this as a binding will really pull all of this together. And I think having this in the center with these two fabrics will also kind of pull the back into the quilt. So I do a little bit of ruler quilting, but I almost exclusively free motion quilt. So I'm kind of giving some thought to that. I have no idea what I'm going to do on this quilt yet. Oftentimes what happens is I get the quilt loaded and then I just decide. I just look at it and I just start and I just go, because I find that for me personally, first idea is usually the best idea. So I just, whatever pops in my head, that is what I do, and then I just go. But if you have other ideas for this, let me know. I do have pretty limited space in this room to work in front of my quilt frame, so that shouldn't be a problem while I'm working, but while I can get to the whole thing, I can't necessarily stand back and do a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working on that. I'm sure it'll probably just be an edge-to-edge free motion, because that's what I like to do the most, and I am all about having a usable quilt. And since this was such a scrappy project, and even the back is going to be scrappy, I may end up going into doing like swirls or meander or a combination of the two. Sometimes I do big roses. I've done other things where I've done like wavy lines, which is a really fun one to do. I need to go into my files because I have a little file that I made a couple years ago because I was going to do a quilt for a friend, and I took images from all of these different quilts I had quilted over the years and made basically a sampler of all the things that I feel really comfortable doing. So I need to go look at that and do a little quilt design shopping for myself. I don't expect I'll have this quilted by next week, but hopefully it will at least be on the frame. And if it is, we will record on the other side of the room in front of the frame. This will be the first big thing that I've had on the frame since I moved it from that side of the room to that side of the room. So it'll be interesting to see how that is to work with, if anything gets in my way, or if it in any way interrupts my sewing room zen. You guys may remember from the beginning of the year that working on making this room feel just a happier place to be, a better, more comfortable place to be, was a big part of the thing I've been doing this year. And the quilt frame is still kind of an unknown just because I haven't done much quilting. I don't think I've quilted anything, honestly, I don't think I've quilted anything on my quilt frame since I moved it. So that could be interesting all by itself. So anyway, you guys, this is a short one because while I do have a lot done, I just have the one thing to show you. So I hope you have a really wonderful week. I hope you have a crafty week. Hug someone you love, and I'll see you next week. Bye.